the Heat and the Knicks. Jimmy Butler was back. He looked terrific on that ankle. And Stephen A., I will let you describe what it is you saw from your Knicks, who were blown out from the jump this afternoon.
I think there should be an investigation as to what the New York Knicks were doing the night before today's game, because they did not come ready to play at all. They were in Miami the night before the game. We all know that could pose a distraction. They looked like it. I was not pleased with the New York Knicks at all. You could put the orange and blue skies. I haven't lost faith, but they're not worthy of it today. They were awful. They were, from start to finish, they got outclassed. Jimmy Butler, 9 consecutive games since the last year's conference finals with 25 or better. Julius Randle, my God, how awful can you be? He was sitting up there. He didn't shoot well at all, only had 10 points. Him and Brunson combined to shoot 0 for 10 from three-point range. The New York Knicks couldn't hit the backside of Broadway if they were standing on it. They damn sure couldn't hit anything on Biscayne Bay. It's just one game, and I'm not going to lose my faith. And I'm not going to lose faith and hope that the New York Knicks will get it together. But my goodness, how awful can you be? They didn't show up. They got beat to a pulp today by Miami, and the season is on the line. Monday night, or what? Tuesday,
Monday night.
Monday night.
That's
Yeah,
correct.
Monday night. It feels like a Sunday, but it's a Saturday.
Yeah.
Monday night. The New York Knicks have got to win that game because they're not coming back from a 3-1 deficit against the Miami Heat. Oh, by the way, Kyle Lowry had 14 points. Haven't lost a postseason game when he scores in double figures. Now, I'm very disgusted right now because it's one thing to lose, but it's another thing not to show up. Maybe I should blame AD. Maybe I should blame DA and DeAndre Ayton. Maybe I should blame people like that contaminating the New York Knicks from not showing up. That's what happened. They never showed.
We are presented by Chime. We are in Los Angeles, across the street from where tonight we get Game 3 of one of the most anticipated second-round series in NBA postseason history with Stephen A. Smith, Michael Wilbon, and Jalen Rose. I'm Mike Greenberg. We're looking forward to a good one tonight in Game 3. Our opening tip, both the Lakers and Warriors bring historic streaks into tonight's pivotal Game 3. LA has won 9 straight Game 3s when the series has been tied at 1-1, longest in NBA history. As for the Warriors, they've won a road game in 28 consecutive playoff series. That's the longest streak of all time. And there is so much at stake for the teams, for the organizations, and for the 2 superstars at the forefront of the marquee. Let's start with them. Stephen A., for LeBron James and Steph Curry, what is at stake in this series?
I think potentially, you know, for me personally, you're talking about legacy. You're talking about who's going to be held in higher regard without debate. Obviously, they're both all-time greats. We understand the greatness of LeBron James. We certainly understand the greatness of Steph Curry. But so many times we've talked about the LeBron James era, because he went to 10 NBA Finals. He won 4. Well, Steph Curry's been to 8. Okay, and he's won 4 too. Excuse me, he belongs in that kind of conversation. And if he were to knock off LeBron James and, dare I say, advance and ultimately win his 5th championship, it would give him 1 more than LeBron. It would tie him with Magic Johnson and Kobe Bryant. Okay, when you think about it on that level, there's no question to me that it has a profound impact, potentially.
Historically speaking, what's at stake for these 2?
Cherry on top. That's it. Not everything is contentious. Newsflash. I mean, it is usually in sports and the discussions that we all have in our various lives and shows and all of that. It drives it. It fuels it. Sorry. It's historic. It's cherry on top. They're both going down. And Stephen A. has raised something that he needs to get specific credit for this week with the conversation about Steph Curry. When he and I first started this a few days ago, I was like, pump the brakes. I'm going to make you pump the brakes on this. And it's been fun to talk about it. But even then, there's just a great degree of positivity. Nobody wants to deal with that. What cynicism? What? LeBron James is going to change his legacy if he doesn't? I'm sorry. Was it going to change Tom Brady's if he hadn't won the last Super Bowl? No. And it's not going to change it. It can enhance Steph's maybe a little bit more than LeBron's, but enhances as far as...
By the way, I meant 6, not 8. Finals appearance.
Steph has been in 6 finals. But Tom Brady did enhance his legacy greatly by winning another one late
because it was a different team.
And it was without Bill Belichick.
Different coach and different circumstances, and things change. And here's Steph Curry all of a sudden making this push, Jalen, at this stage in his career. A year ago at this time, before he won last year's championship and before he won last year's finals Finals MVP. I think there were some questions that don't exist anymore, and maybe he continues to find answers.
Agreed. But if the conversation becomes about ring counting, Tom Brady dropped the mic because he has the most rings also.
Right.
In basketball, that's a lot different because Bill Russell has the most rings, and then Kareem is right behind him, and Michael Jordan is right behind him. This enhances Steph Curry immensely. If he's able to get 5, like Stephen A. just said, and then you tie Magic, you tie Kobe, you tie Tim Duncan, now all of a sudden you elevating yourself. LeBron James is already in the conversation for greatest player of all time, whether he wins or loses. So I think it enhances Steph Curry a lot more if he's able to win it this year.
And listen, have we just discounted the notion that this could also enhance the legacy of LeBron James? Stephen A. winning another championship in his career at the age of 38 and playing on the level that he is at this age, which is practically unprecedented in the history of the sport, winning his 5th championship, doing this one with the Lakers in a non-bubble, not to diminish that championship, but a different set of circumstances. This can't enhance LeBron's legacy?
In his 20th season, approaching age 39, if he were to win a 5th championship this season, I will never put LeBron James ahead of Michael Jordan. But what I will say is that the discussion as to whether or not that should be the case would no longer insult me. It no longer would insult me. I would be like, I understand where that comes from. He wins a 5th championship. It's not like it's just a cherry on top. Oh, no. It's more significant than that, Wilbon. If LeBron James wins a 5th title this year, it's a lot more than a cherry on top.
You know what, Stephen A., as we sit here today, in the middle of it, it seems like a lot more. As we get more removed, and to me, legacy is not something, people get crazy. Legacy is not current. It's not today. Every game now, every night, every sports center, somebody's talking about somebody's legacy. Stop. Legacy is something down the line. It is something you look back at. And when we look at Kareem and we look at Kobe, we look at Shaq, we look at contemporaries, look at people further back than that. Is it just ring counting? Jalen raises a great question. Is it just ring counting? Can we do something else?
No, but...
Can we look at the subtleties and the grays of their careers? I would hope so.
But where you're wrong, Mike Wilbon, is that long before you came along, there were people that talked about those all-time greats in a legacy conversation. You piggybacked off of that legacy conversation.
Yes.
It passes on. I'm just saying, you're right about the time, but it's always discussed in the moment.
And the reality is, seldom do we know we're seeing it right in front of our eyes. These two guys, head-to-head at this stage of their careers, it has to mean something.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.